Welcome back. You're watching the Late Night News. Now, developments in the shocking story from Kodaikanal. In fact, those that came in almost an hour back, police have managed to trace the absconding correspondent of the Kodaikanal public school who's been accused of molesting a young girl, a class 9 student, in fact, in his school. This 73-year-old man, in fact, ML Bright, allegedly molested the young girl when she was alone in her room. Although the school has repeatedly denied these charges, calling it a false complaint, police sent 3 teams to Nagarkoil and Kanyakumari to search for Bright and finally found him using his own mobile signal. Well, Tamil Nadu is a state which is dubious for ignoring merit and talent when it comes to admissions. No, we're not just talking about the unusually high reservations in educational institutions of the state. Now, even Sri Lankan Tamil refugees are bearing the brunt of this disrespect for merit. Many of them, despite having very high marks, are being outrightly told, giving you school education was enough, now don't even think of college.
Anuja has scored over 91% total in her plus 2 exams, and her cutoff is over 190. But there was a rude shock for her when she tried to attend counselling for professional courses. Being a Lankan Tamil refugee, she cannot be part of any counselling for MBBS or engineering.
எனக்கு வந்து சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து டாக்டர் ஆகணும் படிக்கணும்னு தான் ஆசை. அப்ப இங்க வர்றப்போ எனக்கு தெரியாது இங்க என்ன மாதிரி கல்வி முறை என்ன மாதிரின்னு ஒண்ணும் தெரியாது. அப்ப இங்க வந்து படிச்சு எக்ஸாம் முடிஞ்சு ரிசல்ட்ஸ் வந்த பிறகு தான் தெரியும். இங்க வந்து நாங்க படிக்க முடியும் போட்டு இந்த மாதிரி தொழில் வாய்ப்பு ஒண்ணும் படிக்க முடியாது அப்படினு சொல்லி.
Refugee students did not have any restrictions from 1984 to 1991 and from 1996 to 2003. From 2003, Lankan Tamil refugee students who are doing excellent in their plus 2 exams are not able to join professional courses. Tamil Nadu government cites hurdles from central bureaucracy, particularly law ministry, as the impediment.
You will find that some of the best students, they don't realize until they come to that point that they are actually don't belong to this country because they are from another country. They are so well cared for by this country, by the people and so on. Suddenly they realize they are not citizens and they get frustrated, and a lot of them get disoriented as a result.
Education is the greatest asset that refugees can take back home, where rebuilding lives require a lot of doctors and engineers. Maybe humanitarian considerations at highest levels of policy making can restore their rights. In Chennai with reporter Peer Mohammed, this is Zoya Thomas for NDTV Hindu.
On to a story that will make you say, oh yes, I face this problem too. Now, families across Chennai city plan their weekend visit to a mall or a restaurant not based on its distance or quality, but more on the lines of whether there is sufficient place to park the car. T Nagar, Ashok Nagar or Anna Nagar, you're reminded of the same signboard, no parking. Our reporter Lokpriya did a recce around Chennai today. The moral of our story, well, park your car at your own risk.
The Broadway seems as narrow as ever. One of busiest locations in Chennai, famous for wholesale goods, is now famous for another thing: wholesale parking woes. Over 2,000 vehicles ply on this road every day, most of them consumers. The only parking space available is here, near the police station.
இப்போ வந்து இங்கே ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் ஜாப்புக்கோ வேலைக்கோ வந்தால் பார்க்கிங் தேடுறதுக்கு ஒரு ½ hour ஆகிடும். அப்போ சப்போஸ் அந்த ஒர்க்கை முடிச்சுட்டு வரும்போது நம்ம வண்டி இருக்குமா இருக்காதுன்றதே ஒரு டவுட்டு. போலீஸ் எடுத்துகிட்டு போனாங்க, யார் எடுத்துகிட்டு போனாங்கன்றதே தெரியாது.
சப்போஸ் வண்டி விட்டால் கூட பின்னால் வர வண்டிக்காரன் வந்து உள்ளே தள்ளி விட்டு போயிடுவாங்க. மறுபடியும் நம்ம வண்டி எடுக்கணும், அடுத்த வண்டிக்காரன் வந்து எடுக்கிற வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ணி தான் எடுத்துகிட்டு போக முடியும்.
Our next stop, Ritchie Street in Anna Salai. The parking system in the mecca of electronic goods is out of plug. Vehicles forced to be parked right under the no parking board. The Purasai Vakam flyover has a dual purpose, for vehicles atop the flyover and underneath. And finally to T Nagar, the mother of all shopping centers. A man is usually more worried on where to park his car than how much his wife would dent his pocket shopping in the area. T Nagar has just 8 automated parking ticketing system. For those who don't find a parking ticket here, clog the smaller streets causing traffic snarls.
நிறைய டைம் வேஸ்ட் ஆகிடுது. அதனால் வந்து நாங்கள் பஸ்ஸில் வந்தோம்னா நேராக வந்து இறங்கிட்டு கொஞ்சம் நடந்து வந்துட்டு நாங்கள் துணி எடுத்துகிட்டு போயிடலாம் அப்படின்னு இது பெஸ்ட்டாக தோணுது. பார்க்கிங் சௌகரியம் நிறைய பண்ணி கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா நல்லாயிருக்கும்.
The Chennai Corporation had proposed a multi-level parking system which could enable cars to be parked on different floors of a building, as many as 1,500 cars and 2,500 two-wheelers. The proposal for now is parked for more reasons than one.
In Tinagar, Venkatmaya Road playground below the car parking, there is some litigation going on. We have done a public hearing and submitted to the High Court. And fourth is that near Grimes Road, that is Wallace Road, for which we awarded the work.
It took me almost half an hour to find this parking space. If the authorities speed up the work on the multi-level parking facilities, it will come as a big boon for the commuters. In Chennai, Lok Priya for NDTV Hindu.
Now, the word IT corridor would probably bring to your mind posh buildings and facilities matching up to international standards. But Chennai's IT corridor, that's considered India's leading one, presents a harsh picture. Amidst all the big buildings are bad roads and poor maintenance by the authorities, and no one seems to be caring about this callousness.
This stretch on Taramani houses the MRTS station, 2 television studios and over 6 IT companies. But a first glance leads you to an open drainage, garbage strewn like confetti and water stagnation. All this tarnishing the image of a bustling IT suburb. For the office goers, this is a perennial hurdle. They do not need monsoon to roll up their trousers.
Actually, the drainage is open over here, so when we walk down the road, it really smells.
Being a IT hub area, it's really like the Chennai impact is very bad. When any foreigner comes or anybody comes outside from India, they can just feel like it's representing Chennai in a very bad sense.
There is no dustbins. Government has to provide the dustbins.
Yes, quite shocking but true. There is not one garbage bin on this road. The result, the waste strewn on the road rots and clogs the open drains. And this is in the vicinity of the workplace of over 2 lakh people. The civic authorities clearly need to log in urgently.
கொஞ்சம் ரோடெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் பண்ணால் ஐடி பீப்புளுக்குலாம் நல்லாயிருக்கும். இந்த வீடுங்க அது மாதிரி இந்த மாதிரி காடுங்க இருக்கிற இடம்லாம் கொஞ்சம் கிளியர் பண்ணி அந்த இடத்த கொஞ்சம் ப்ராப்பராக பண்ணால் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஃபேமஸ் ஆகும் இந்த தர்மனி ஏரியா.
All these industries, small industries, actually those are causing some problem here. अगर वो लोगों को differentiate करना चाहिए. अगर suppose यहाँ पर पूरे IT रहना चाहिए instead of having small industries like that.
With the monsoon around the corner, the garbage plus stagnant water can lead only to one thing: diseases. This is an everyday inconvenience to office goers and commuters. Looks like the IT hub that contributes a majority to the state's economy is quite deprived of its basic civic rights. In Chennai, Minal Shah, NDTV Hindu.
Well, there's a disturbing new trend in Chennai's drug trafficking scene. It's no longer hard drugs like heroin that are being smuggled to countries like Sri Lanka. It's party drugs like LSD, ecstasy, cocaine, amphetamines that are dominant in the smugglers' kitty, and they're taking them over to Southeast Asian countries via Chennai. So how do these smugglers in fact operate? Salim gets us this special report.
Chennai is fast emerging as a major drug transit point. The most preferred modus operandi to send the contraband through post are courier parcels and human mules. Some mules are even forced to swallow capsules of drugs in order to smuggle them. This modus operandi gives the advantage of anonymity of the actual kingpins and makes it difficult for investigating agencies to trace the masterminds of the trade. The party drug ketamine is their favorite.
And we have not had any instance of ketamine abuse in Chennai so far. But whereas its movement towards Southeast Asia is quite increased, and I think almost all the agents are doing a good job on that.
The World Drug Report by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has revealed that the global area under poppy cultivation declined by 23% since 2007. Police point this as a reason for the lower intrusion of the hardcore drugs in Chennai.
You don't get hard drugs nowadays, and even what little is brought in, it will be sort of adulterated, mixed with a lot of other substances and made to appear as a hardcore drug. So peddling is very few. I don't think there's any peddling as far as Chennai city is concerned in terms of hard drugs.
Chennai police say they keep a close watch on not just schools and colleges in the city but also farmhouses and resorts along the East Coast Road to curb trafficking of such party drugs. In Chennai, Salim for NDTV Hindu.
Well, time for us to slip into a very short break. Up on the other side. We tell you the story of a man who's paralyzed in his body, not his hopes. An inspiring tale of a man who wants to be a football coach. That's coming up next. Stay with us.